chase the bay. Ain't no need to lag.
I got all these extra tabs open. There's music playing everywhere. I couldn't figure out what was going on. What's up, guys? Woo! That was wild. Give me just a second. I realize that I have a college basketball play out right now from this early game. Toledo's down 5. Gross. What's up? And welcome. All right, I'm just trying to pull my stuff back up. Man, I swear I showed I had like 5 people watching. Then y'all went away. Pull my notes up here. Where we at? Get through this here. It's raining like crazy where I'm at. Toledo's down 5, Steven. But I mean, it looks like it just started. I honestly forgot about it. I just looked. Just wanted some action today. All right, here we go. What's up and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks. Live on just YouTube today. Twitter will be back tomorrow. Show brought to you by Beer Money Picks. Had a -1 unit day yesterday. I caught 2 hooks yesterday. So if I'm going to do that every once in a while and only lose a little bit, I mean, I will certainly take that. It is a bummer to catch some hooks, but got a lot of good things coming on and everything like that. Check out that beautiful graphic we have here. Code all caps Lunchtime, 25% off. That's all I got about that. A lot of people in here watching are from the Discord. If you like the way I've been winning, I have these, quote unquote public plays. The YouTube plays are, sometimes put in there. Here lately, since we've been on a heck of a streak, we've been doing pretty good. Those have all been in there, obviously. And then we got some of the, oops, that's the wrong view on the mic on the thing here. We have those extra plays, those couple extras. I like to take advantage of the injuries and everything like that, so a lot of cool stuff with that. If you're not following, also, first off, follow me, please. But if you're not following the Beer Money picks, like YouTube or whatever, just search. I don't know what it is for sure. Just search Beer Money. We're doing that like around the horn type thing again, where it's like it's gonna be me, Ty, and Prez, and then we hosted and like I got to talk hockey, unfortunately, and college basketball, but it's a little pick show that started at 6, I think, or something like that. We recorded at 5. Then it gets posted, live, like premiere at 6. So it's not truly live; it's a recorded live. But what are you gonna do? But okay, let's get into it. Again today, I'm gonna ask just real quick at the top of the hour. I hadn't heard anything, hadn't seen anything. I got some comments of people saying that they watch on YouTube, but I'm curious about the people that are potentially watching on just audio, just the Spotify's and the Apples and everything like that. If this is something that I need to continue to do, I'm sure it doesn't hurt me to have it out there. But it's just one more step that stops me from getting on to something else. And I do pay to host the podcast. So please, in some way on Twitter or on Spotify, you can go do it, like leave a review or whatever. Like, let me know if you're one of the ones listening on the audio side, if that's something we should continue to do, or if everybody has hopped over to the visual side of things. But without further ado, we are positive in 13 out of the last 16 episodes here. So that is pretty dang good. How many of those have been a sweep? I think just one, to be honest. And that just goes to show how important it is. Make sure that we're sticking to units or whichever way you gamble, that you're following the way it should be. Going 2-1 every day is profitable. It's not the fanciest of work, but going 2-1 every day is certainly, pretty helpful when we get some wins that way, So, yesterday though, I feel like that hook emoji's backwards for some reason to me, to be honest. I don't know why it looks like it's going that direction. I feel like on an iPhone, it's going like the other direction or something like that. Go back and forth. Sometimes I will watch on here and sometimes I'm only able to listen on the Spotify because of work. Yeah. So, I mean, like, perfect. Thanks for letting me know that, obviously if people are still like truly watching, I have no problem continuing to do it. It's just extra steps. I just want to make sure that I'm not completely wasting my time, but, all right. So today, Thursday, 3/14, before we get into Yeah, right. Who baits their hook facing right? I don't know why this emoji is like looking the other direction. I don't know what's going on. That is weird. It's bothering me. I didn't realize it until I'm looking at it and I'm live talking to you guys. Before we get into today's plays, though, let's take a look back. So we did yesterday. Jalen Suggs over 13.5 points plus rebound. The guy is a wagon. Next time he's at home, we might have to play him just out of principle. I was almost very upset though. I was almost ready for a day off today. I told myself I am not going to bet tomorrow if Jalen Suggs does not go over 13 and a half. He had 11 points and one rebound in the first quarter. I was like, man, I even said something in the Discord, I think, because I gave it officially there too. Um, and he picked up a second foul late in the first quarter. I said, man, he could have cashed first quarter, but he just picked up that foul, so they pulled him. And then he did nothing the second quarter. And he did nothing the third quarter. And I'm like, I am going to be furious if this man does not cash this out. He ended up clearing it and just points alone. He caught a couple buckets, another rebound. I think he finished with like 16 or 17 or something like that. He went over, but man, it was sweaty and I was ready to be pissed off about it. Nebard, over 5.5 rebounds and assists. We got hooked, but honestly, I mean, we were pretty lucky to even get hooked. He had just one through the first half, through even possibly the first three quarters. The fourth quarter, he turned it up and started doing something. And overtime, I think he did get something in overtime. So I feel like that. Can't experiment of running his rebounds and assists. We went 1 for 1. That's probably done for, I think, unless he's got a really good matchup. Then DeAndre Ayton, that was also our pick of the day, our day one. Boy, cash in the first half. I'll take that. 18 points in the first half. Damn near spot on, man. I tell you guys, that was nice. I called, the struggles of the roll man, the soft in the paint, whatever. I mean, he lit them up. It was nice to see. We were all over that one. It feels good to get one of those to go home, But yeah, Tay says everybody drop a like. It's free. It certainly is free. And I appreciate you guys though. Every day I feel like it's growing. We're having more and more people watch. I can't wait to the moment that we're like having like I've got this many people waiting for it to start or whatever, But this helps me though too. I mean, like I feel like since I've been getting in and I have a deadline and like the plays are finished and ready by 10:30, I feel like I'm getting ahead of some things. And then I can, give some of these officially if I want to, and for the paid members in the Discord. And then once injury news and stuff comes out, I can attack, different things that way. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get into it. The first play up I have today is probably going to be my favorite for the 10K, 10-day challenge. I'm trying to call it because I know with the juice, we're not going to hit 10K. I just want 10 bets in a row. Honestly, that's all I need. I just need to do that, and then the YouTube's going to blow up. So just give me all the encouragement. All I gotta do is hit 10 plays in a row and turn you guys a couple $1,000s, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of followers then, So Devin Booker over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists is gonna be the first play. The graph I have pulled up here, the stipulations in it. KD has to be playing, Beal has to be playing, and we need him to be with 30 minutes with those things. So KD in, Beal in, 30 plus minutes. He's over in 7 of his last 10. He averages 36 minutes when you have both of those two players playing. So asking for 30 obviously isn't a lot. It's not like we're saying he's played 40 minutes or something like that. I'm sure at 40 minutes, he's like at 100% hit rate or something. You can see the line is priced really well here. It's probably a pretty sharp line. His misses that he's had, near misses, 31, 33, and 34. So, I mean, he's been right there. On outlier, you can see where it opened. It opened at 32 or 33, and it's moved up to where it was. It was actually at 35.5, and then it bounced back down to 34.5. So this is probably, like I said, going to be our pick of the day or whatever. But if you guys like another, I can definitely have you guys talk me out of it. With these stipulations, like I said, Beal in, KD in, 30 plus minutes. He's hitting this at a 65% clip. But let me show you this other graph here for KD. Those of you that are watching on the visual side of things, there's a lot more green and bigger bars in this one. These same stipulations, but away, he's been killing it. He's been flying over it, and he's had 2 misses. So he's over this in 8 out of his last 10 away games with these two players playing 30 plus minutes. And his 2 misses are at 33 and 34, those same ones that he had before. So with this, he's hitting at a 75% clip on away games with these guys playing and him getting plenty of minutes. Pretty good spot here. just off of his normal success. And we haven't even really got into like the matchup. So, I mean, you almost couldn't ask for a better matchup, to be honest, in this one. The only fear I suppose I have in this is that Kevin Durant has in the past cooked the Celtics. In fact, he went for like, I don't know, some crazy. And I think he dropped 40 points on them last time. So, like, hopefully KD isn't like absolutely going off. Like, that's what could potentially hurt us here. But Boston allows the third most pull up attempt shots. He shoots the second most pull up shots in the league. In terms of rebounds and assists, in the last 7, Boston's given up the 6th most assists. In the last 30, they're giving up the 6th most rebounds. They don't have Porzingis today. Al Horford's going to be. So they're going to be missing that big rebounder that they have. It's going to be should be a pretty close game. Although like the Celtics are do have some issues when Porzingis isn't in. So hopefully we don't see, like knock on wood, any sort of like blowout or anything like that in terms of like the Celtics, or I'm sorry, the Suns really whooping up on the Celtics because Porzingis isn't in. But the lowest rebounds and assist number he had with our away and 30 plus, yada, 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 is 7 with a ceiling of 15. So realistically, I mean, we're asking for him to get like 28 points and to get, 7 mixtures of rebounds and assists. Although, I mean, he could really pop off like in any direction with that, So points, rebounds, and assists is normally like a really, really high juice number. Like they're seeing Giannis in the 50s and Jokic in the 50s. But this 35.5 feels really nice, for Booker here. So first play is going to be Devin Booker over 34.5. Trying to talk and click around at the same time. It actually looks like it did move up to 35.5. I was just, as I mentioned, it's kind of moving all over the place. I'm going to check DraftKings real fast so I thought I had it pulled up. And it's the early game, which be kind of nice not have to stay up so late to have to bet it. So PRA is still 34.5 on DraftKings. I don't know what it is on, so it's out there. It really depends. I would take the 35.5. I'm cool with it. You can see in the graphs, he's missed that, he's hit that number just the same. So 34.5, 35.5, wherever you get it. If this decides to be my, official play, I will, certainly pick a number to lock in on. I've been making another like YouTube video for it. So I'm thinking this is going to be it. I'm slowly pulling it up on Bet365 here too. So give me just a second. Those are the 3 main plays. And I played the other one on 365. Wow. That's actually a great number. Devin Booker over 34.5 PRA is minus 115 on Bet365 compared to the minus 130 that it is on DraftKings. So it's so nice to shop those different books. That's a grade A example. You have a 35.5 for, minus 106. You have a minus 130 for the 34.5, and then you have a minus 115 for 34.5. So hopefully this stays for the life of, the podcast here. And then I got to do some other stuff and I'll lock in and everything like that. But we'll shoot for the 34.5. Unless you guys like these other plays. Let's get into number 2 here. Number 2, I honestly, guys, I really like this play, but because Giannis just burned us, I can't run it for that challenge play. The play is Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. Depending on what your juice is, put it with the Bucks money line. So in the write-up, I have Giannis over 11.5 rebounds plus the Bucks money line. As you can see, Giannis has owned the 76ers. In this graph alone, he's over in 6 straight games against them, including 12 in both the games that he's had against them this year. Now, this is where it kind of gets crazy when you kind of really get into it. So like on a lot of these like tools, it only goes back a couple years or so far or something. So you have to go. And honestly, I haven't really messed with like props.cash. I don't know how far back it goes, but I hopped into StatMuse, typed it in, did counting myself and everything. He is over in 17 of his last 18 matchups against the 76ers. He has had 12 or more rebounds in 17 of his last 18 games against the 76ers. How many of those games do you think Embiid was in? Probably a whole awful lot of them. The one miss that he had, he was at 11. So, I mean, he just barely missed that 11.5 number. Like I've talked about it. Like there's different ways you bet on streaks or situations or injuries or anything like that. Like this is a matchup that he has obviously dominated. If you go back to 2020, he had 20, 17, and 15 in those games. Obviously, Like that's not the same Giannis. We don't get that same Giannis anymore. But rebounds are also kind of situational. So like what if everyone's knocking their shots down and everything like that? But I mean, Dame shot horrendously last game. So in terms of the money line, I mean, they're going to turn it around. They're going to whoop them. There there could end up being less boards or whatever because of that. But if you look at the matchup even off of just against Tobias Harris, so, because it's the, Giannis goes back farther than Tobias Harris being on the 76ers. He's over in 14 of his last 15 games with that same being at 11. So, however you want to look at it, like, Tobias Harris is for the most part going to be guarding him. He's over in 14 of 15 against Tobias Harris. If you want to look at him against the 76ers, he's over in 17 of 18 against the 76ers. Like I said, money line wise, the Bucks just got embarrassed. There's no way they don't come out and win on their home turf, their home court. If you don't mind playing Giannis at like where it's at, then run that. I'm looking at minus 136 right now on FanDuel. DraftKings is I feel minus 135. So like that's not a bad straight bet, but like I have absolute confidence that the Bucks win this game. So I don't have an issue putting it on there, which on FanDuel is going to give us a plus 112 bet if you run his minus 11 and a half and the Bucks. In fact, I was curious about even doing like a 10 in a money line, but unfortunately there's just too much juice there or whatever. So official play, however you want to do it. We're taking Giannis over 11 and a half. If you like the money line, add the money line on there. If you want to play the minus 135, 130, or whatever you can get it at, certainly do that. I don't see a minus 130. I would probably run that straight. Minus 135, minus 140 is getting a little lot for a straight to me. And then that's when you have to turn on and put like 1.5 units on it or call it like a 2-unit play to eat the juice. And I don't really want to mess with that. Third play. So before the third play comes around, hit that like button for me, please. Hit the subscribe for me button, please. I'm pushing, trying to get to that 500, trying to get to 6, 7, 8, and 9, whatever, 10, 1,000, I guess it is. Like I said, the followers are on me. I gotta hit 10 in a row. I literally wake up and start researching bets. I have them done by 10:30. The podcast is all the graphics and the thumbnails are made by 11:30, and then I'm looking at stuff the rest of the day in the Discord and everything like that. So grinding, trying to come up with that big. I'm not a big win type guy, so we got to hit a bunch in a row. So help me out. Hit that subscribe button, and so on and so forth. Okay, third play. OG Anunoby, however you say it for sure. Over 1.5 threes is the play. I got it at plus 104 on FanDuel right now. So we got a little bit of plus money action right here, plus 104. First game back the other day. I think we were on DiVincenzo, right, for the podcast just a couple days ago. And I said, like, hey, a little nervous though, like OG's back and he may take some shots away. And it definitely seemed like he took some shots away. Like DiVincenzo didn't take the same amount of shots. OG honestly didn't even seem like he looked his direction. Like he was kind of driving the lane a lot, or catching and shooting himself. But first game back from injury 2 days ago, and he looked good though. OG looked good in that game. And the Knicks with him are like 15-2 or something. Like the Knicks with OG are gonna be pretty damn solid. Like they're a damn good team. Oh, and I forgot to mention on that Giannis play, like the Knicks just played the Bucks, and I'm pretty sure that Josh Hart had like 16 rebounds in that game or something like that. So obviously same position. Giannis is bigger and more athletic. So Hart just like dominated that matchup. Oh, and then in Booker, guys that like against teams that he have given up a lot of like pull-up shots, like he's also owned that like big time. So I kind of forgot to mention that. But anyway, you can see he started right where he left it off. He's over in 2 threes and 3 out of his last or 2+ in 3 of his last 3 games. And in his post-game interview, he said his elbow was feeling great, felt good to be back. There really didn't seem like to be a minutes restriction or anything like that. So we certainly don't have to worry about anything along those lines. Got something in my throat. Over this in just 6 of his 10. The big play though here is it's another one of these like he's really good against this team type thing. He's killed the Blazers in his career. The one game on the Knicks this year, he shot four out of six. That didn't sound right. I don't know why. Anyway, he made 4 threes against them when he played them earlier this year against the Blazers. And let's see. He has had 2+ threes in 6 out of his last 7 games against the Blazers. So it's another spot where he's dominated this matchup. So not only the one game he played with the Knicks, all the other games being with the Raptors, he had 4 earlier this year against them. And then he's had 6 in his last 7 matchups against them. 2 of those have been away in those away games. So AKA at, in the Blazers, court or whatever. He's hit 6 and 4 threes in both of those games. So he has 2 for 2 away in his last, 7 games or whatever I said, going against the Blazers here, making 10 combined threes. We just need 2 of them. I mentioned it felt like he took shots away from DiVincenzo, so hopefully get some pretty good looks again. And I went as far to kind of look around. He took 5 shots in his first day back here. Just the other day or whatever. When he has 5+ attempts, shots from 3, I guess. When he has 5+ attempts from 3, he has 2+ in 8 of his last 9. So I really can't speak on what his volume is going to be, but I mean, he came in and he was shooting right away. Was able to get some looks off. But then we also talked about how like that team wasn't very good against like catch and shoot. And that's why we were on DiVincenzo in that game. So situational, I mean, maybe like he was taking more shots because like it was the spot to do that. But if he gets that same kind of volume, he's hitting in 8 of his last 9. So I still got a handful of people watching here. I'll do the recap here. And we can decide what we're gonna run. Jason says he likes the OG play. I don't know, Jason, you mean for the challenge? But let's see. Let me pull the screen up here. So to recap, though, on 314, lunchtime in the lab, Devin Booker over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. 35.5 is totally cool. Just depends on what book you have available to you. There's plenty of lines all over the place there. Giannis over 11.5 rebounds plus the money line. Once again, if you don't mind eating that juice, go ahead and run, Giannis alone. But I feel really good about getting the money line win there. And then OG Anunoby over 1.5 threes. Sitting at plus 104 right now on FanDuel. So we got some good, 2+ monies and depending on when you take it, I got a minus 108 or it's a minus 115 somewhere else, So I came into this though with the expectation of playing Booker, and I think I'm gonna ride Booker. This is, of course, my show. I like Booker. I like Booker for the play. Threes are scary, guys, because it's, I was on what the hell? I don't know how to say his name. Fonchecchio or whatever the guy is. He ended up hooking me yesterday in the Discord, but because there was an injury and all that stuff, So speaking of injuries, trying to see if Holmes is going to play because Kisper's been killing it when Holmes isn't in, so that's definitely something to pay attention to. But yeah, it's what if he's driving the lane? What if DiVincenzo's taking all the threes? I certainly do think he makes 2, but there's a certain degree of like safeness when it comes to the points, rebounds, and assists. It's like Booker can literally be racking up that number at all spots of the game. Like if somebody else is scoring, he could pick up the rebound and offensive rebound and the assist, gets 2 when somebody else gets 2 points. You know what I'm saying? So defensive rebound, goes down there and passes it, picks up 2 while somebody else picks up 3. So I mean, I think it's a good little safe. A lot of things going into it. So we'll run Devin Booker over. I'm going to take over 34.5 on Bet365. It's sitting at minus 115. That's where I played 8 in. If you want to take it on FanDuel, it is at minus 108 for 35.5. I don't know what it looks like if you pull it down or anything like that. Obviously, that's up to you, however you guys are doing it. But we're taking that $10. I actually forgot to bet $10. I bet 115 on 8 in to win, $100. So I'll just take whatever the math would have been. I'll probably just put $20 on it, to be honest, to kind of just even it back out. And then I'll do the math to see what it should have been. And then I'll keep it right. So it looks right for all you guys. But all right, that's it, guys. I'm going to I'm gonna close it out here, unless you guys have anything else or whatever. But we got 3 good plays. I think we got a 3-0 coming. To be honest, somebody's either gonna parlay it. I don't know if FanDuel's got like a boost or anything like that, but sometimes I look towards those boosts when I do, on the when I got a 3 that I really like. But it's looking pretty good here, to be honest, on the 3 plays that I have here. So I'm gonna close it out. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Lunchtime in the Lab be brought to you every day. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social medias. Same line, right? You guys have heard it 100 times. At Live Joe Bets, and give me a follow on or subscribe on the YouTube channel so I continue to grow that. Appreciate you guys for watching and everything like that. And I will see you guys back tomorrow at 11:30.